Howdy folks, in this video I'm going to show you how I made a custom bumper for my Suzuki Sidekick. I made this bumper out of some tubing that I had laying around and some brackets from some playground equipment. So obviously the first thing I did was take the bumper cover off. And then take the bumper off. Everything is very rusty on this rig, so you're basically going to break any bolts that you come across. So I had some brackets for some playground equipment that I had just laying around, and so I decided to use that as my mounts. I then drilled holes in my brackets and a place in the frame that was a good place to mount them. And I didn't have any drill bits that were big enough for my bolts, and so I had to get a little bit creative. I took a punch that was tapered and I just smashed it from both sides with a hammer to wallow out the holes enough to get the bolts through. And now the bolts fit. Once I got my brackets bolted on, then I started measuring across and seeing exactly how long my piping needed to be. Once I cut my piping, I just set them up on a jack stand at about the right height and just kind of eyeballed it to see if it looked good. Then I took a slice out of my pipe and used that to trace exactly where I needed to cut out the brackets. I used a jigsaw to cut the brackets and cleaned them up with a grinder. I just needed to put the pipe back on the jack stands and tack it in place. And it looks good, so I'll just weld it all on. Then I cut my bottom pipe and did the exact same thing. I wanted the bumper to connect at the end, so I decided to just do some 45-degree cuts. And the cuts are a little bit off, but close enough. Then I go to the other side and try and make sure that my cuts all line up with each other better this time. And this time they line up pretty good. So now I take the bumper off so I can make some bends and conform to the front of the vehicle a little better. So I end up using the mixture of a Sawzall and a cutoff wheel in order to cut the pipes most of the way through. Once they're most of the way through, then I cut another slice out of the backside to make a pie shape. Once the pie shapes are cut out, then I can make my bend very easily and weld the backside back together. And the only thing I have to make sure about on the other side is that I get the same angle. About this time my welder ran out of gas, so the welds are looking pretty terrible, but that's nothing a grinder can't fix. And now that the welds are all finished, clean them up with a grinder. And it's looking pretty good now. Do a quick test fit to make sure it still fits. And now it's time to clean it up with a wire wheel to get it ready for paint. I'll first go with a couple coats of primer. And then hit it with some black. It's a little glossy for my taste. I would have liked it to be a little more matte, but that's okay. And then I put it on, and there you have it. I'm pretty satisfied with the outcome. I think it looks a lot better, and I don't get it hung up on rocks so much. Let me know if you want to see something done similar with the back bumper. And that's about it. See ya.